In the fall of 2019, deep in the woodlands of West Virginia's Pocahontas County, two brothers on a routine hunting trip came across something they couldn't explain. Something that, if real, shouldn't exist. Eric and Daryl Slade were lifelong hunters, local boys, familiar with the thick Appalachian wilderness around Greenbank. It's a small town known for its nationally radio quiet zone. There's no cell phone towers, there's no Wi-Fi, no interference. It's just trees, silence, and the open sky. On October 22nd, they parked their ATV near an old logging path, and they hiked into the forest just after sunrise. It was super cold. Frost was still clung to the brush, but the woods were dead silent. There was no birdsong, no squirrels, not even the usual movement in the underbrush. Daryl would later describe the silence as creepy, a thickness to the air, like the air wasn't carrying the sound right. By mid-afternoon, the brothers reached a remote ridge near Laurel Run. That's when they saw it, roughly 30 feet ahead, partially obscured by deadfall and leaf cover, was a circular hole in the forest floor, nearly 7 feet across. It was perfectly round, no slope, no mound of displaced soil, no signs of excavation. It didn't look dug, Eric later told a local reporter. It looked like it had been cut into the ground, like somebody had removed a plug. The rim was burned, not just charred, but blackened and smooth, as if it was exposed to some intense concentrated heat. Inside, the walls were strangely uniform. They were almost polished. They couldn't see the bottom. Eric decided to drop a rock in, but it just never made a sound. They stood over the hole, just amazed on what they found. Neither of them spoke. Both would later describe the same physical sensation: pressure in their ears, a low hum they couldn't hear but could feel deep in their heads, like they were standing beside like a running generator or something. Then Daryl stepped back sharply. He claimed he saw it for a moment, not a shape, but a distortion in the darkness, something shifting just beyond the light. They immediately left. That night at camp, they reviewed the footage from the trail cams they'd set up along their route. Only one clip stood out. Timestamped 2:47 a.m. A still frame, grainy, colorless. Something tall was crouched by the indistinguished fire pit, chunky limbs and a pale torso. The figure had no discernible face, but what appeared to be eyes reflected the flash in a perfect, eerie white. No motion was captured before or after, just that one single image. When they returned to retrieve the cameras the next morning, all three were dead. I mean, dead, not drained, dead. The batteries are scorched, melted at the contacts, like something was there, like there was a fire of some sort. But over the next 2 weeks, Eric posted about the event on several online forums, hoping for answers. The responses were quick, but very unsettling. The image he shared was deleted within days. His accounts were locked, and then without warning, his brother Daryl just disappeared. According to the police reports, Daryl left their cabin early one morning to check an old hunting trail. He never returned. His ATV was found abandoned in the forest, but no sign of Daryl was ever discovered. There was no blood, no torn clothing, not even tracks. And the hole? Gone. Just gone. Eric brought a local deputy and a pair of friends to the site, but when they arrived, the clearing was untouched. There was no burn marks, no depression, just leaves and brush, as if like the ground had filled itself in or something. Locals have talked about similar holes in the region, stories going back decades. Some believe they're natural sinkholes or old mining test shafts. Others are less sure. A former Green Bank observatory technician, speaking under disguise, claimed to have seen geology readings that showed pockets of unexplained voids under certain parts of the forest. One of those readings, taken years prior, lined up only within a mile of where the Slade brothers made their discovery. But the observatory doesn't discuss those readings publicly. Today, there's no physical evidence of the pit, only Eric's story and that one single trail cam image. If there's something beneath the ground in West Virginia's quiet zone, a geological anomaly or something else entirely, whatever it was, the forest took it back. And maybe it took Daryl too. Thank you for tuning in to Urban Legend Hunter. Until we meet again.